If you also love movies, these 1,000 films are for you. I'll watch them with you. Who can imagine the deputy director's first investigation of a case? His servants are waiting to see his jokes. Should we open the door now? The agency wants to open the door. People are not criminals. We have no procedures. Why open the door? What happened to whom? The agency said. He heard. Hearing all. Take a look at it. At night, when something happens, this woman sent me outsourcing. Yes, both of them are now running away. Do you not feel suspicious? Suspiciously suspect. So you agree to open the door now. I agree with the suspicious. He opens the door and needs procedures. No proceedings, no evidence, we open the door. The evidence is in the house. I don't open the door. How do I get evidence? No evidence cannot open the door. Zhang Yi'ang was angry with a little bit of temperament. He really doesn't know what to do now. There's no one here. There's not a little. Hand without hand. At this time, Li Jin saw a rental phone on the window. He immediately called the number. At the time of Zhang Yuan's painful thinking about how to break up, Li Jin took the landlord and chased him here. This is the landlord. Grandmother Mrs. Living here should be an important responsibility. You agree that we open the door into investigation. Disagree with disagreement. Why should you open the door? I have the key. There is a key. One of them. Sometimes speaking is really not enough to breathe. Getting the key, Zhang Ongsan Su Qi opened the door. After entering the door, it appears in front of everyone. It is an ordinary convenience shop, and the landlord is not very familiar with both couples who live here. There's a mess in the room. It can be seen that both couples are walking in a hurry. Li Qian gently took out the white gloves. Prevent the scene from leaving Zhang Ong's fingerprints. Everyone is waiting for this deputy director to show up. And after Zhang An wears good gloves. He hasn't moved yet, but he says the head is a path to 1 M62. Several units of equality. Weight should not exceed 100 kilograms. Dress up right at the top. The color of the skin is white. The hair becomes green. The pace of walking, light and wide. Paint sound clean green. What about that man? I don't know. How do you know women? A few people woman sends me a sale. I have seen you before. Okay, very well. I also thought that this deputy director would say how much odds are. Half a day in this blunder. Zhang Yi'ang keeps people guarding the bus and train stations. Today, no matter what it is today, it is necessary to catch people, in addition to the 2 outsourced handles. I was preparing to take a car and escape, but a woman's discovery. Someone on the other side always looked at her. She's afraid that the opposite person was a police officer. Her husband listened to her words after she finished. Lima decides to turn the train away. And the opposite people, it's purely just looking at the front of your face. On the other side, Zhang Yi'ang thanks to police instinct. These 2 people will definitely go to the train station. The shadow and the wrong also make her instinct right. After arriving at the train station, they show their identity, then start registration. Zhang Yi'ang at this time is a little too late to wait. I see a barrier on the side. She suddenly had an idea. People take Zhang's son, arriving at the station. As a result, I saw it once. Preparing to escape, the dealer and his wife, Zhang Wenyan, and the dealer both recognized each other. There is a police officer. Zhang Wenyan pulled a recording pin out of his bag. Then asked him last night, did that woman send out sales to herself? Yes, it is. Yesterday, I was at your house watching the usual day guard garment. I knew you were a police officer. Zhang Yi'ang did not notice it at all. Women's answers are not what women ask. And her husband at this time has already pulled out a necklace. What's going on with me coming? Everyone was killed by me. All 3 people on this side have been made very strange. And the woman there says he doesn't want to escape anymore. I hear this word. Men put down the head of their hands. Zhang Sanyong would not think of it anyway. He mistakenly caught a serial killer. There are 15 lives in their hands. This man and his wife are the blue meat bamboo horses. His wife died when she was 16 years old. Rape described by the same village. Later, the man sought him to express his account. In a struggle, people are carelessly killed. Because at that time his husband was sentenced to 12 years. The results wait until they come out. He found that his wife was forced to marry someone. As a result, married or personal shit. The man forced his wife to be a miss. After a man knows. At one time, he killed his entire family. Then he ran away with his wife. In the meantime, he can only rely on constant robbery and stealing things to maintain livelihoods. As a result, 15 people's lives were contaminated with their hands. But this is not the most unexpected yet. The most unexpected thing is that after the man settled down in Shandong, I also met a friend in one of the numbers before. This friend hired him to kill. I'm willing to give him $100,000. And the person who wants to kill is an old policeman. Listen to it here. Everyone else realizes it. The old police officer in his mouth. Most likely, it is the former deputy director. Immediately, someone holds a photo of the former deputy director. Let him identify. The result is really true. This can be proven from his side. The death of the former deputy director. Most likely it was not an accident. Instead, someone bought a murderer. Know from the mouth of this man. His childhood friend is called Little Fly. There's an external name called Scarring. Is famous. Probably a terrible role. It is terrible. No one knows about Sanjiangkou. Cannot be. This little flying single-gun horse. A knife in the mouth is like a supercar. As a result, he underestimated the speed of his car. When you jump down, just face the ground. A lively, hardback knife came into his mouth. His scarring face is like this. Listen to the presentation. Even Zhang Wenyan felt a bit difficult to break down. They came to small flyers based on households. The deputy captain arrived and politely knocked on the door. And Zhang Wenyan just scratched a glance. I found that the door had already been pushed over. They found nothing upstairs. Instead, in the lower floor of Sitting Point Center, someone discovered that a wall had been overthrown. He stumbled and chased him up, but because they are not familiar with the terrain, someone else is doing white things in the garden. That's why it causes people to pursue them. It is not difficult to determine from this point. The death of the former vice director must have occurred, but no matter what, anyway. Zhang Yi'ang broke the case of serial murder. This is a proper one-off task. He had thought of himself having made such a great deed. It should be transferred back to the provincial hall. But his master thought he was thinking. This case was broken by his force. Let him thoroughly investigate the murder of former deputy officers and captains. Within 6 months, 2 police officers were killed in succession. By probability speaking, this is definitely not a coincidence. Probably between these 2 cases, there must be some sort of connection. Get out of this resignation. Do not let go of every doubt. Remember that you remember. You must find this thing out of a waterfall stone. Do you understand? Understand. Even though in his mouth he speaks and understands. But he has never given up thinking about returning to the provincial office. Zijin came to look for him when he arrived. He's just reached his feet. This time finally let him find the gift to return. Then he prepared a wheelchair for himself. Then miserably find the director. His legs suddenly couldn't stand up. So he wants to go back into the provincial hospital and look at his legs. Look at him like this. The director is also not good at saying anything. I thought about arranging a meal for him at night. Build a building. There is no reception party when you can never come. There is no building party when you go. Someone has broken down a serial murder case. But now, Zhang Yi'ang is a wolf-hard 4-iron. Where else is the mind to eat? In any case, the director thinks he spoke his own words. The face work was also done. Therefore, the departure of Zhang Yi'ang is also not relevant. But I didn't think Li Xiao knew after this news. Directly entered the director's office. The case of Lu Ji and the leaves. Only she can break it. You have taken on Uncle Yellow. No is not. Li Jin said before checking the drink while driving. It is Zhang Yi'ang's determination to even check aircraft engines together. That's why we caught that serial killer. Probably, possibly. Whose line is she? Do you remember it? Zhangju Zuozhen, commanding. We are tea drinkers. What is it to say? The so-called relatives 2 line categories. Write yourself a line. Write yourself a line. This must be paid attention to. Maybe we can find something else. The deputy captain thought, it looks like it's really such a thing. But contact down. He feels that Zhang Yi'ang doesn't look like someone who has such a big real thing. Otherwise, come here. During this time, nothing is hidden behind the back. Li Xian explains that Zhang Yi'ang is a pupil of the chief. Together, they broke out a total of 17 cases. And each is a big case. This also demonstrates Zhang's ability from the side. At this time, the director recalled a legend about Zhang Yi'ang. So what exactly is the legend of Zhang Yi'ang? Can Zhang Yi'ang return to the provincial office as he wishes? In what way will the director allow people to stay? Here I'm talking to you. We'll see you next time. Goodbye.